faces charges of conspiracy to commit tampering with physical evidence and child neglect. Meanwhile, 32
Sabrina Brown faces charges of conspiracy to commit tampering with physical evidence and child neglect. Meanwhile, 32-year-old Kendra Bowden, who appears to go by Kenna on her Facebook page, is charged with human trafficking.
Here's what we know about how all of this unfolded. An anonymous tip came into the Mississippi Department of Child Protective Services that
That's the dry, clinical language of a Pearl River County charging sheet. But read it again, and you'll see the document is describing a transaction where the currency was a 13-year-old girl. Think of a church pew with a single bullet hole in the backrest. The congregation kept singing, Sunday after Sunday, pretending the splintered wood was just a shadow. That's the precision of the denial we are dealing with here.
County Sheriff's Office at the end of June. According to investigators, they determined the teen was 13 and living with the Brown family when she got pregnant in the fall of 2025 and was reportedly around 33 weeks pregnant when the tip came in. Affidavits filed with
The file begins with an anonymous tip to Mississippi Child Protective Services. The tip was simple: a now 14-year-old girl was pregnant, and the father was a man. Investigators determined the girl was 13 and residing with the Brown family when she became pregnant in the fall of 2025. She was reportedly 33 weeks pregnant when the system finally blinked. A life was about to arrive, built on a foundation of felony exploitation.
A search warrant was secured and subsequently executed on the device. During the forensic examination of the phone, investigators located multiple image and video files within the hidden folder of the Photos application. These files depicted Dawson James Brown and the teen engaging in sexual intercourse.
To understand how this happened, look at the hardware. Detectives seized an Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. They executed a search warrant and forced the device open. Inside a hidden folder, forensics didn't find ambiguity, they found high-definition reality. The files depicted Dawson James Brown and the 13-year-old engaging in sexual intercourse. The phone contained a secret ledger of abuse, and the password didn't protect the perpetrator, it buried the victim. The paperwork already knew.
Investigators also located numerous electronic communications between the teen and other individuals discussing her pregnancy and identifying Dawson.
But the phone held more than images. Investigators located electronic communications between the teen and other individuals, discussions identifying Dawson as the father. The digital trail didn't whisper, it screamed.
Daughter's pregnancy. And here's what her affidavit says. Bowden stated that she became aware of the pregnancy when the teen requested to move back into her residence. Bowden advised that the teen refused to identify the father of the child or provide details regarding the circumstances of the pregnancy.
The state then turned to the victim's own mother, Kendra Bowden. In a minimum facts interview, the girl refused to name the father. The child was protecting a system that was actively selling her safety. But 3 days later, the wall cracked.
On July 17th, Bowden revealed she knew more than she had originally said. Quote, during the interview, Bowden advised she had not told investigators everything on July 14th, 2026 because she was scared. She stated Dawson James Brown had personally admitted to her.
On July 17th, Bowden admitted she hadn't told investigators everything because she was scared. She confessed that Dawson James Brown had personally admitted to her that he was the father of the unborn child. The mother knew. The admission is locked in the affidavit.
From the affidavit, Bowden advised that on or about June 3rd, 2026, Dawson James Brown sent her a message asking whether she thought he needed to leave the country.
Here is where depravity meets premeditation. Bowden stated that around June 3rd, Dawson sent her a message asking whether she thought he needed to leave the country. This isn't panic, it's logistics.
Bowden also stated that after Dawson James Brown disclosed his involvement in the teen's pregnancy, he provided her with money, took her to a Mississippi State University sporting event, allowed her to use his vehicle, and provided other favors. Bowden further advised that Dawson James Brown inquired about bringing the teen to Alabama and that she was willing to allow the teen to travel with him. Bowden stated that she had
But the flight risk is secondary to the price tag. Bowden advised that Dawson provided her with money, took her to a Mississippi State University sporting event, allowed her to use his vehicle, and provided other favors. Bowden further stated she allowed the teen to travel with Dawson to Alabama. Read that sequence again: a ticket, a car, a trip. That is the statutory definition of human trafficking, exchanging a thing of value for access to a child.
Knowledge of the sexual relationship between Dawson James Brown and the teen, including knowledge that the teen had become pregnant as a result of that relationship. Despite this knowledge, Bowden allowed Dawson James Brown continued access to and contact.
Despite her personal knowledge of the sexual relationship and the resulting pregnancy, Bowden allowed Dawson continued access and failed to report it. The system of exploitation was a closed loop until forensics cut the power.
Her own affidavit reads in part, digital messages found on this device between the teen and Sabrina Brown appear to reveal that she attempted to coerce, direct, and instruct the teen how they could falsify information to investigators and to fabricate and provide a false document to investigators regarding Dawson's DNA.
And what about the matriarch inside the house, Sabrina Brown, Dawson's mother? Her affidavit claims messages appear to reveal she attempted to coerce and instruct the teen on how to falsify information and fabricate a false DNA document. Think about the specific horror of that. A grandmother figure, a longtime psychology educator at Pearl River Community College, allegedly teaching a child victim how to manipulate the most definitive science we have. The paperwork already knew.
The statement goes on to say, we recognize that this situation has brought concern, heartache, and many questions to our church family and the broader community. We ask for prayer for all those affected by this matter, including anyone who suffered harm, the families involved in our church family.
While the women face conspiracy charges, Pastor Michael Brown remains legally untouched. The church issued a statement affirming their unwavering commitment to the protection of children. But the institution's website and Facebook page have since been scrubbed, vanishing like a footprint in a rising tide. The sheriff is also investigating rumors that the church held a baby shower for the teen, a celebration that would weaponize community ritual to sanitize a statutory rape.
Prove he had knowledge of what was going on. That's something deputies are likely looking into right now. The sheriff also told WLOX that the department is aware of rumors circulating online that the church actually held a baby shower.
As a pastor, Michael Brown is a mandatory reporter in Mississippi. He's also a former police investigator. The question isn't just what he saw, but what institutional gravity kept a trained eye from seeing a pregnant 13-year-old in his own home.
And James Brown is still in jail. He was considered a flight risk. They said they have text messages where he was telling the girl's mother, maybe I should leave the country and things of that nature. And it appears that he may actually have another child.
The ticking clock here isn't the trial date. Dawson James Brown is currently detained, deemed a flight risk after texting about leaving the country. The real urgency is the human debris. A 14-year-old mother is now in state custody, likely delivering a baby sired by a predator who paid for access with sports tickets. So consider this: what happens when the child victim becomes the mother, and the only parenting model she has is transactional betrayal?
Strong case. I mean, the fact that we have, the videos and, images of the actual sexual abuse, and then, some of the text messages that at least one describes as like an admission to the child's mother that he was the father of the child. Doesn't matter if he tries to say it's consensual. She's only 13 at the time that happened. You can't consent at that age. So that one charge.
Legally, the case is a fortress. The state holds videos of the abuse and texted admissions. Consent is a legal impossibility at 13. Dawson faces a minimum of 80 years. The evidence is so overwhelming that the defense cannot argue innocence. Only procedure: the iPhone 16 Pro Max, that sleek glass rectangle, became an unintentional confession booth.
It's confounding to me that the allegation is that they tried to cover this up, talked about falsifying DNA test results. It doesn't matter. If the cops are going to find out, they're going to do a DNA test. You can falsify this stuff all you want. So just that piece of this puzzle, too, is really shocking. Yeah.
Yet, the cover-up is the true ghost in the machine. Discussing falsified DNA results reveals a stunning arrogance, a belief that a homemade forgery could outrun a state lab. They tried to erase biological truth with a text message. It's a conspiracy that mistakes silence for safety, but forensics doesn't forget. The paperwork already knew.
That it couldn't be more harmful messaging from a mental health standpoint for a trauma survivor.
No, it's just awful. Well, I just hope the best for this child and the baby, and we're going to keep an eye on this. Thank you so much, John Clune, for coming on.
Bonds were posted. Sabrina Brown paid her own $10,000. Kendra Bowden's $160,000 bond was met. The perpetrators walk on concrete while the victim navigates a maternity ward inside the foster system. Dawson remains caged, his flight risk validated by his own words.
Kendrell Bowden was given a $160,000 bond, which it appears someone posted for her, and she's since been released from jail. Sabrina Brown posted her own $10,000 bond and was also released. Dawson Brown, on the other hand, won't be getting out, at least not for the time being. A judge at a hearing earlier this week agreed with the assessment that he could be a flight risk, pointing to the alleged message that he sent to Bowden asking.
For those watching, this isn't just a broadcast. Go to the Pearl River County Justice Court docket and pull the probable cause affidavits for case reference 2026-07. Read the language for yourself. Then, in the comments, answer this: why do you think the church held a baby shower for a crime scene? We'll see you next time.
If he should try to leave the country. So we're going to keep a close eye on this case and let you know what happens.